Another day, another chance, another way, another dance. Today I'll be discussing to you all right about what needs to be discussed, and that's pretty much validation errors. For pretty much my blog. So I'm pretty much gonna be going over my blog, about everything in it, what needs to be done, and yeah, it's pretty much a validation error. Without further ado, before I continue with what I'm going over, I'll be introducing to you all my navigator. His name's Savas, and you'll be navigating my videos. So Savas, hello man, how you doing? Yeah, so I'll pretty much be going over my validation errors. So let's get to this. Okay, so what we have here is showing validation errors. So currently, when we have errors in form submission, we do not display them to the user, but just redirect them to another page. This is inappropriate as it doesn't inform the user that they have entered invalid data. They might think that what they have entered has gone through successfully when in fact the process has failed. A better solution would be to straight away display validation errors to the user so that they can resubmit. In this chapter, we'll show you how to show validation errors in form. So currently in store user.js, we have the following code. So accounts user equals require modules user.js, const path equals require path, module.exports require, so you got the parameters, right? Use the create, quest body, error, comma user, and then we got an if statement, so an if error. So return res.direct, authorize, then register res.direct. So the error object actually provides us with validation error notifications that we can work with to display the errors. Let's console log the error object to explore what we have and work with that. For example, if I submit an empty new user form, I get the following errors. So errors, username, validation error, path username is required, message path username is required, and name validated error. So that's pretty much what we've got here. So username validation error, path, username is required, message, path username is required, then name, validated error, password validator error, password is required, then message, password is required. So that's pretty much what we have. The name validator error, message, use validation failed, then name validator error. That is error would contain a list of individual validation error objects with keys, username, and passwords, which are the respective fields that have validation errors. So if username is filled in and valid, we'll just have the error key for the password. So that's pretty much what we have here. And then what we're gonna be going over. Yeah, hold on a second. Sorry about that. Just need to go, I just need to go over what needs to be gone over. So login user. So as you can see here, we got an if statement. So if you don't have a user, it's gonna cause a flash which is error invalid credentials. Return res.direct authorize login. Compare passwords. Const is password valid. Equals wait encrypt bcrypt.compare password user.password. So if we don't have is password valid, then request a flash error invalid credentials, then return res.direct authorize login, then request that session user ID, then user that underscore ID, res.direct catch console.error, res.direct, authorized and login. So that's pretty much what we have. Then we got object.keys, errors, map key, so on and so forth. So that's, yeah, and then you got display errors in the template. So how do we make the messages available to the viewer when we redirect using a return res.direct auto register? Do so by assigning the error messages to a variable, saving to our session with the below codes in bold. So module that exports, parameters. So user creates request by the error user equal to or greater than if statement. So if error const validation errors, then object that keys errors that map key, right? Error that errors, then request session validation errors, then you got equals validation errors. So that's pretty much what we have here. So that's what we've got. Then in controllers, new use.js retrieve the retrieve the errors from the session with request that session validation errors and pass it into register.gjs. So model that exports equals parameters equal to or greater than res that render register. So errors request that session dot validation errors. So next in valid register.ejs, we display the error messages at the top of our form with the below code placed above form action. So that's pretty much what we've got here. And then yeah, that's pretty much what we have. So yeah, so we've got document doc type HTML. Then yeah, so in order to prompt that, you pretty much do shift exclamation mark enter. As you can see here, we got the doc type, which is HTML. The language of the document. Obviously, this has been redacted, so we add a placeholder just to connect it to the rest of the redacted stuff that was once here but has been redacted due to it being placed somewhere else, mainly being the layouts path. So layouts header, then include layouts nav bar and page header class masthead, background image URL image contact beat background.jpg, then div class overlay, then div class container, div class row, div class so on, then register a new account, right? And then you got our main content without divs, errors, form action, user register, control group, then submit. So this is pretty much the buttons, labels, input type, so on and so forth. I've created EJS, header class, div class overlay, buttons, settings, H1s, create new post, main contents, then our labels, which is title, and then yeah, that's pretty much what we have. And then our posts, which is page header, you know, masthead, style, background, dash image URL, blog post, user ID, then we got a blog post that user ID, that username, then unknown, and then unblog post that date posted, that to date string, you got that as well. Then we got post content, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what we have here. And then yeah, page header, main content, and then include layouts, footer, include layouts, scripts, so on and so forth. And so that's pretty much what we have, man. And obviously, connected everything to the server, MongoDB connected, and then yeah, that's what I've got. Go to my compass, connect everything to my compass, and then you got to my database. And go to users, and yeah, and then you go over to my getting started. I hope you're following Savas, I hope you're following my man. Yeah, and then let's go over to my index. Right, index. Okay. So as you can see, we got our variables, right? So we got our input modules. So we're requiring our input modules. So node modules, right? So that's what we've got. And then require path, and then require mongoose, require express sessions, require connect flash, then express file upload in general. And then we got our controllers, so we got const. So const is pretty much our permanent, it's pretty much our permanent, variable. So, and then it's pretty much our permanent variable, in which once you assign a value to it, the value pretty much stays the same, and it's supposed to stay the same. Otherwise, if you try to change it, you're gonna end up having a case, when it's gonna return an error. So that's pretty much what's gonna happen. So new post controllers equals require controllers new post, and still post controller require controllers posts, store post, and then new user controller equals require controllers that new slash new user. Then store user controller equals require controllers store user. Then controllers log in. Then controllers log in user, log out controller equals require controllers log out, and so on and so forth. And then got a middleware. Right, so const variable authorize middleware equals require middleware authorize middleware. Then variable redirect if authenticated middleware. So it's another variable. So redirect authentication middleware. So these are pretty much the middleware that we've got. All the JavaScript files that we have. It pretty much get added to our into our main server. And then we've got a validation middleware as well. So let me add a variable, so require that. So that's pretty much what we've got here. You know, so that's pretty much what we have. Then yeah, so that's pretty that's pretty much what we've got there. And then we got our modules. Const blog post equals require. Modules blog post. Const app equals express app.set view engine, EJS templates, and then serve static files, app.use, express.static public, then parse JSON and form data built in express 4.16 plus, and then app.use, and then express.json, and then app.use, express.url encoded extended true, and then enable file uploads, app.use file upload, then connect to MongoDB, remove deprecated options. So Mongo.connect, MongoDB, localhost, my underscore database, then catch, so then contact log, MongoDB connected, and then so then it's pretty much condition that you set in which you know attach callback for the resolution or rejection of the promise. So this is actually a callback for the resolution, and then catch is pretty much a callback for only the rejection of the promise. So MongoDB connected, then Mongo connection error. So this is pretty much like a replacement for the booleans that we pretty much use, which is true or false. Then our session and flash app.use session, secret use secret key. We see false, save unutilized, app.use flash track logged in user globally, global.logged in equals null, app.use, so on and so forth. Then we got parameters, logged in request.session user ID, then next. Then can't use port equals 4000 app listen, then port equal to or greater than called log, app listen on port, so on and so forth. Then app.get, so everything has been synchronous at the end of the day, in the sense that once every something once one app is working, or running, right? Once you add in info, another one has to be running in the background at the same time. So everything, is pretty much working synchronously with one another at the same time. So that's pretty much what happens. And then static pages, app.get, about, contact, sample, post. Parameters equal to or greater than resident render, about, contact, sample, post. In single post page, app.get post ID, synchronous cause blog post equals await blog post that find by ID, request that parameters ID, where's that render post, so on and so forth. So create post page app.get post new, and then authorize middleware, new post controller. So app.get create authorize middleware, request, then you got the parameters equal to or greater than, where's that render create, so on and so forth. And then, app.post, post store, then authorize middleware, asynchronous, so on and so forth. Then you got the parameters as well. Try const image, request that files image, await image.mv path.resolve, direct name, public image.name, await blog post that create, request that body image, so on and so forth. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what we got here. And then registration app.get, authorize register, users register, authorize login, users login, authorize logout controller, app.use, parameters equal to or greater than res that rendered then not found. So yeah, pretty much the responses that we get, for each, right? So not found, logout, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, so yeah, that's pretty much what we've got, yeah, yep, modules. So that's pretty much what happened here. So yeah, so we got, our terminals. So app listing on port 4000 MongoDB connected, so on and so forth. So we got home, clean blog, a blog theme, by, start bootstrap, log in, log into your account, user, register a new account, and yeah, that's pretty much what we have. Exploit. So error expected. So as you can see here, you got an error validate. You got a validation error, which is expected username to be unique value exploit. So that's pretty much what we've got here, right? So it has to be like unique. Whereas if we had to do email that password 123, then please provide the username. So please provide username. So yeah, another flash as well. So that's pretty much what we've got here. So log into your account, that log in. So as you can see, we've been logged in. So clean blog, a blog theme by start bootstrap. Okay, there we have it. Except, so as you can see here, as soon as we log in, we end up, getting what we get. So the starter page, log in, new user log in, menu. So as you can see, as soon as we like log, so as you can see, new post, log out, so on and so forth. Yeah, that's pretty much what we have. So that's, yeah. Obviously, I'm not gonna elaborate any further, because the validation error is what we need to go over. But you pretty much, you pretty much have like the gist of it. So that's pretty much what we have. So that's pretty much what we got. So yeah, anything that you need to elaborate on your sides of us, anything, nothing. All right, no problem. I thank you very much. Take care of this, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.